Welcome to The Holistic Entrepreneur with success coach, holistic nurse practitioner, and best-selling author, Bonnie Groessl. Bonnie shares inspirational and enlightening content to educate, empower, and facilitate well-being while nurturing the mind-body-spirit connection. This boost of positive energy will help you manage stress and make the most of your life, allowing you to thrive in the new normal. Now, please welcome the host of The Holistic Entrepreneur, Bonnie Groessl.
Well, welcome everyone. This is your host, Bonnie Groessl, here at The Holistic Entrepreneur. I am so grateful that you are sharing your valuable time with me. I appreciate all of you. Now, if this is your first time listening, welcome. And if you've tuned in before, welcome back. I hope that you find this will be another valuable episode that will help you on your journey to better well-being. Now, I always want to remind you, before we begin every show, that the information presented here is educational, inspirational, and motivational in nature, but I always want you to just take what fits for you and let go of the rest. This show does not intend or imply to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment either. I always want to have that little reminder for all of us. And remember to check out the show page with all the offers and links that I have for you there, and you can always connect with me at bonniegroessl.com. Now, the other thing that I always want to take time to do when we begin a new show is to take a moment to remind you to take a moment for you. To just stop, take a nice deep breath, and then just slowly let it out. For the best benefit, the exhale should be longer than the inhale. That activates that parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxing part of you. Just notice as you breathe. Notice the air coming in and the air going out. And notice you. Notice what a beautiful human being you are. Oh my goodness. I want you to remind you to stop and notice. I want to do that every time we get together. And maybe this is the only moment that you take for yourself. But it's so important to your well-being that you do this. The more you can do it, the better. Now, last time we talked about beginning a meditation practice and how to activate that parasympathetic nervous system to feel more calm. Remember, it's that longer exhale than the inhale to activate the parasympathetic system the most. Now, I'd love to hear how it's going. Please post your progress, or you have any questions, put them in the Facebook page at Coach Bonnie Groessl. The link is on the show page below. And if there's enough activity on there, I think I might create a group for this show, and then we can even chat more privately than on a regular page. So let me know that in the comments as well, if you'd like to see a group for this instead of just a page. Now, the next few episodes, we're going to talk about the drugstore in your brain. I bet you didn't know that you had a drugstore in your brain. We all have feel-good chemicals. They're called neurotransmitters. And we'll explore ways that you can naturally activate them. We have more drugs in our brain than any drug company could ever make. And there are ways to release them. So there are basically 4 primary chemicals or neurotransmitters in the brain that affect happiness. Things like serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins. So today we're going to start with serotonin. Now, serotonin plays a significant role in your body. You know, when we feel that sense of accomplishment or recognition from others, we're experiencing the effects of serotonin. So getting certified in something, crossing the finish line during a race, or just being appreciated. Serotonin can create strong emotions, positive emotions. And it's the same chemical in many of today's pharmaceutical antidepressant drugs. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter, which means it's a messenger, a chemical messenger, and it's involved in so many processes throughout the body. It's known for promoting a positive and happy mood. It helps you with sleep by regulating the circadian rhythms. It also helps you regulate appetite and learning and memory and promoting positive feelings of all kinds. Now, if you have low serotonin, you might feel anxious or down or depressed. You might feel a little irritable or even aggressive at times. You might have sleep issues or feel fatigued. You might feel impulsive, have a decreased appetite, nausea or other digestive issues, or you might crave sweets and carbohydrate-rich foods. That's the potato and Prozac connection, right? So serotonin is an important neurotransmitter. And if you're looking to boost your serotonin, I want to share with you a few things that you can try on your own. Now, you can't directly get serotonin from food, but you can get something called tryptophan. It's an amino acid that's converted into serotonin in your body, actually in your brain. Now, tryptophan is found in primarily high-protein foods like turkey and salmon, but it's not as simple as just eating those foods. And that's because of something called the blood-brain barrier. It's this protective covering around your brain that controls what goes in and out of your brain. So tryptophan-rich foods are generally even higher in other amino acids. So think of it like this. It's like a boat crossing a river to get to the other side, inside the brain. And there's only so many seats on the boat. Because there are so many other amino acids, they jump in first and take up all the seats on the boat. So there's no more room on the boat, and it can't get into your brain and cross that blood-brain barrier. Now, there might be a way to bypass this. There's some research to suggest that eating carbohydrates along with foods that are high in tryptophan might help the tryptophan to get in, because there's more competition with the carbohydrates, and it makes it faster for the tryptophan to get in. So you could try, eating tryptophan-rich foods with maybe 25 to 30 grams of carbohydrates. So an idea would be some whole wheat bread or rice with turkey or cheese, or having salmon with some brown rice or some of your favorite crackers. Exercising also triggers the release of tryptophan in your brain. And so it's easier for it to make the tryptophan into your brain. So aerobic exercise is best, which means you need to get your heart rate up. Now, you can run if you want to, you can walk briskly, or you can dance in your living room like nobody's watching, right? Whatever you can do to get your heart rate up, that's the key. Now, serotonin tends to be lower in the winter months and higher in summer. And that's due to less sunlight, especially in the northern parts of the world. Now, many people suffer with depression issues from something called seasonal affective disorder because of the lack of sunlight, and that lowers their vitamin D as well. Spending time in the sunshine appears to increase serotonin levels, which makes you feel better. So be outside when you can be, especially when it's sunny. So did you ever notice how you're not quite as happy and upbeat when there are lots of cloudy days in a row? If so, you probably are suffering from the lack of sunlight and have mild seasonal affective disorder. It doesn't have to be every day or all winter. It can come and go. I always feel better when the sun is shining. So even if it's below zero, which means I don't go outside to go for a walk, I still sit near a window with the shades open so that I can at least see the sunlight. It's not as good as being outside, but it's better than nothing. Now, to maximize the potential benefits, I would aim to be outside when you can be, at least 15 to 20 minutes a day. And this also increases your natural vitamin D levels. In the summer or in warmer climates, it might be possible to get vitamin D from the sun on a regular basis. It takes about 20 minutes, and all you really need is sun on your forearms or your face to get about 10,000 units, which is a significant amount of vitamin D a day. So if you can, get out and get some sunlight, but let it absorb into your skin. And we'll talk more about vitamin D and other things like that in future episodes. But I also want to give you a caution to don't forget to wear sunscreen if you're outside longer than 15 minutes, just to be safe. And don't necessarily do it at high noon. You might want to pick a time earlier in the morning or a little bit later in the afternoon when it's still sunny, but you're not right at that intense period of high noon. And if you live in a rainy climate and you have a hard time getting outside, or you had a high risk for cancer if you're outside, you can still get some serotonin with some bright light exposure from something called a light box or a therapy light box. There are several of them out in the marketplace, and you can find them online. And it stimulates the sun. It's almost like you're getting the sun because it's so bright. You don't need much of it, maybe 30 minutes at a time, and you don't have to sit in front of it all day. But light boxes are really helpful for people with seasonal affective disorder especially. Now, people often ask me about tanning beds. Will the tanning bed do the same thing? Well, in a way, it will, but my opinion is that the risk of skin cancer and other health issues outweighs the benefit. So I really don't recommend this. I would rather see you use a light box. Now, there are also some dietary supplements that you can take to jumpstart the production and the release of serotonin by increasing tryptophan. Things like St. John's wort and 5-HTP and SAMe, also probiotics. So those are some things that you can take in a supplement way, but I really want you to be careful and make sure that you consult your healthcare provider first, because you don't want to cause any issues, especially if you're already on any type of an antidepressant. There's something that you can develop called Serotonin Syndrome, which is really, really serious. It can end you up in the ICU and even take your life. So you don't want serotonin syndrome. And that's what can happen when you get too much of it by mixing medications that have serotonin in them and a supplement or something like that that's increasing your serotonin. When you do it naturally through exercise and diet and that kind of thing, you don't run into that issue. But if you're taking supplements, you always want to be cautious about that. And if you want to, cut down on your antidepressants and use more supplements, again, work with your healthcare provider to be safe. Massage therapy is another great way to increase serotonin. Massage also helps to decrease the stress hormone, cortisol. You can produce more serotonin with imagery, just imagining. The brain doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. So thinking about something that makes you feel good or makes you happy can help increase your serotonin in your brain and can promote an improved mood in general. So try visualizing about a happy memory, thinking of something positive a time that you had with loved ones, or a wonderful vacation, or sitting on the beach, or your favorite place. There's all kinds of things that you can do with imagery. It's powerful. I hope that some of the suggestions that I gave you today give you some ideas of how you can increase your own serotonin and access that drugstore in your brain. So your action step is to see how you can increase your serotonin naturally through your daily activities. And remember to consult your healthcare provider if you're going to try any supplements. I want to thank you for joining me at the Holistic Entrepreneur Show today. I know that time is our most precious asset, and so I appreciate you spending your time with me. Now, my purpose is to be of the best service to this community. Whether it's your personal or your work life, I'm here to support you. The best place to get the latest scoop is at bonniegroessl.com. Everything is there. We can connect, and you'll find special offers and gifts that I have for you to help you attain the health, happiness, and abundance you deserve. And I encourage you to sign up for my monthly newsletter for more useful information and exclusive offers. The links are on the show page below. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to the Holistic Entrepreneur Show on your favorite podcast directory so that you automatically receive the newest episode when it's released. Until next time, this is Bonnie Groessl, wishing you health, happiness, and abundance.